Excuse me, did the public know about the meeting being here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Call the December 6, 2021 Municipal Authority meeting to order. Roll call. Marquet.
Here.
Maria Kane.
Here.
Khalid Savant. Not here. Okay. Operations Manager Stephen Neese.
Here.
Counsel J. Michael Sheridan.
Here.
Engineer Mr. David Porter.
Here.
Like to take the pledge of allegiance. Flag is over here to our right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody's had an opportunity to take a look at the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Everyone's had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes from the November 1st, 2021 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to advise everyone that we did have,
Joe,
I'm gonna have you step back to the agenda,
just or do both.
because when you
You
did
got
it, you took the motion, but you didn't get a second.
oh, I'm sorry.
You have a motion on both, so maybe.
Okay, so we have a motion to accept the agenda as submitted. We have a motion to approve the minutes from the November 1st, 2021 meeting. Do I have a second for both?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. I will announce that we did have an executive session before this meeting. Purpose of the executive session was to discuss litigation. There's no action to be taken at this time. We have any announcements? Seeing none. Public comment? Certainly. State your name and your address.
Yep, you're good.
Hello, my name is Mike Rodia, 404 Hempstead Circle. I appeared before the Municipal Authority, I guess last month. Mr. Sweeney's where he walked in said he didn't have much more information. I still am looking for certain items. I did receive an email back from the state that the township stated that they send me everything they have. There's some things I'm still looking for. Was there ever a resolution on the tapping fees for Hempstead Road, Hempstead Circle, and Bishop Hollow Road? If I am going to be receiving another tapping fee, I want to know where the costs are. I'm still looking for how much has the Orsado estate been reimbursed? How much has the Terrell estate been reimbursed? I'm also still looking for how many homes are tied in to the Orsado and or Dever sewer line. How many still can be tied in? And looking at the list of tapping fees that the residents, you still, just so you know, you still have the 3 Hanrahan residents listed as still having to pay a tapping fee. That those 3 homes that have already been paid by Renahan. I know supposedly an agreement came up for those 3 residents to pay their past sewer bills, but supposedly I think those 3 homes are on there, and there may be 3 or 4 from Bishop Hollow that are not on that tapping fee list. So I don't know if anybody here has any answers to my questions, or if anybody can. You know what I'm looking for? I mean, I'm just looking for the agreement that Mike, Linda Holden, and James Sheldrake gave to me over 10 years ago. Again, I'll repeat. I don't know if Mike, Jim Sheldrake, and Linda Holden, or anybody on this board or the Board of Supervisors has ever had council and 2 members of a board come out to a resident's house to meet with the residents. They didn't come to sing Christmas carols. They came and told me that an agreement was made for the Hempstead Circle residents that all tapping fees would be waived, because we agreed to let them tap into the water line by the girls' softball field and not have to run the water line. That's all I'm looking for. I'll go away, but I was told, and I just want to get something in writing that I don't have to pay a tapping fee.
Understand. As I said to you last meeting, and I did instruct council, and I instructed our engineer to go and do the research so we could respond. However, both our engineer and our council spent the last 30 days preparing for litigation, which took place today. We were hearing all day today, and in all honesty, they're just did not complete their homework assignment, their due diligence.
Okay,
So being honest, we'll work on it over the next 30 days. Hopefully, we'll have all that information either to you beforehand or prepared to have it for you at the next meeting. And then we can give it to you and then we can go from there.
so question I have, there's two people in this room that were at my house during that meeting. One person's retired, one person's deceased. So as a paying taxpayer for the last 20 years in this township, you're either believing what I'm saying or believing what Mike's saying.
Well, I'm looking for facts. I'm not
Well, the
believing
fact,
anything.
no, I understand that, but I'm just giving you
You've
the
given
facts
us
that I
facts
know.
that you stated,
Right.
and you know.
Right,
We have counsel who provides us guidance and facts as he knows.
right.
He hasn't provided us everything yet because he has been so focused on getting
So
ready.
you're getting information, so you're talking to him to get all the information. When Mike, at the last meeting and in the email he sent to me, said he didn't have any information. And so I sent a right to know letter.
Okay.
And so I sent a right to know letter is when all of a sudden paperwork was found. If you look back at that meeting, Mike said, when you asked him directly, Mike, where's the Arsato information? He said, it's in my office. When I asked the township for it, it couldn't be found. I got an email. But I mean, that's where they're coming from.
I understand.
That's all I need is a letter saying that the township is going to write me a letter saying that we are approving the agreement that we came upon, that the Hempstead Circle
You need to
residents.
find the agreement first, so we can understand it and review it and see what the facts are. Once we
It's
have
been
all,
2 months now. You can't find the agreement?
what did I just say? We spent the last 30 days preparing for litigation. There's only so many hours in the day for us to work.
Okay, so you're preparing litigation, I guess, like for a builder? Is that, okay, so I'm a resident of 20
We were in
years.
court.
Unrelated to you.
Oh, related to me,
You know,
okay,
What we did have, and we were preparing for that. That impacts a substantial portion of the western half. of the
Okay, let me
county.
ask you this thing. Can I get a letter from the township? Because I still have the one letter that says I owe you $8,000. Can I get a letter from the township until this is decided by the municipal authority that no monies are due at this point? Can I get a letter stating that?
No, because how do I know?
Why can't I get a letter saying that?
Because we don't know if there's no money due.
Is there any interest or anything? being
I have no idea. I don't know.
accumulated
I
on
don't
this?
know.
No.
We haven't, I haven't,
There's no interest being
right,
accumulated.
but I've gotten
So-
zero communication from the township. From the last time I was here, the writing the letters, and they still haven't provided me what I was looking for. It was like, go away, we can't find this agreement. I mean, like, I just want to, I don't want to be a pain in the neck to you guys, but I want an itemized list.
We'll provide you whatever documentation we can get together. Again, the focus has been on this litigation. It has been consuming all of us for the last, certainly beyond 30 days.
Right.
But we actually had the trial today. And so everyone on this team has been focused on that. So unfortunately, as I said, there's only so many hours in the day. We will deal with your issue. We're aware of it. You've made us aware of it. We'll get the documentation. We'll review it. We'll analyze it. We'll have the engineer analyze it. And we'll come back and say, based on the documentation that we have and what we have, this is where we are. Then you can say, I agree or I disagree. And if you disagree, then we'll figure something out.
Do we have a time frame that, I mean, am I
I'm
looking
hoping to have it
January,
by the next
February?
meeting in January. That gives us 30 days to get the data together, to take a look at it and draw conclusions.
I also want you to look at,
Go ahead.
thank you for your time. No. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Is there any other public comment? No? Okay. Fund transfer. Item number 9.1, I make a motion that we transfer $77,989.74 from the SR2 Operating Fund to the SR2 Capital Fund. This transfer represents the infrastructure fee collected in 2020. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 9.2, I make a motion. We transfer $21,098 from the SR2 Operating Fund to the SR2 Capital Fund. This transfer represents tap-in fees collected in 2020. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
9.3, I make a motion, we transfer $35,216.66 from the SR3 Operating Fund to the SR3 Capital Fund. This transfer represents the infrastructure fee collected in 2020. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
9.4, make a motion, we transfer $1,159,264 from the SR3 Operating Fund to the SR3 Capital Fund. This transfer represents Tappan's fees collected in 2020. Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Everyone's had an opportunity to take up the treasurer's report. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report as submitted?
Motion to approve the treasurer's report as submitted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Item number 11, 11.1. I make a motion, we ratify the recurring bills paid on check register A dated December 6, 2021, totaling $299,133.17. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we pay the recurring bills paid on check register B dated December 6, 2021, totaling $909.50. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. 11.3, I make a motion we consider approving a payment from the bonds totaling $7,203.62 to Herbert McCombie Engineering for Part 2 permit work on the public sewer project relative to the Camelot service area. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 11.4, I make a motion, we approve the payments from the bonds totaling $1,021.87 to Herman Company Engineering, Part 2 permit work, public sewer project relative to the Ashford service area. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 11.5, I make a motion, we approve a payment from the bonds totaling $373.74 to Herman Company Engineering, Part 2 work, public sewer project relative to the Springton Point service area. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. 11.6, I make a motion, we approve a payment from the bonds totaling $2,408 to Michael Sheridan for professional services associated with the 537 public sewer project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
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 11.7, I make a motion, we consider approving the $566.66 refund request from Timothy J. Kelly at 3 Deggs Circle for unusually high water use associated with the pool and landscaping work that did not enter the sanitary sewer system. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 11.8, consider approving $142.50 refund to Clinton Rutherford of 8 Bride Lane for a non-sewer township related payment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
What is that one about? I'm just curious.
Pardon me. Traffic was bad. I was out in the rain. We'll slow down. I'm here for 401 Hempstead Circle regarding the sewer line.
When I finish this, we can go back to public comment.
Great, thank you.
So the question that you had was, it was a non-sewer related. It has to do with the fact that somebody actually made a payment through the credit card processing system online. And it was it was sent to the municipal authority when it should have been gone to the township. And so there's about, I think, 6 of those.
Yeah, 11.8 through 11.12 is all the same
Why
type of
don't-
payments.
Maybe we could combine all of those in one motion.
Sure.
I just fear that you
It's okay.
might get you through it quicker.
Any other questions on this one? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, thank you. All right, so 11.9, 11.10, 11.11, and 11.12. Total, well,
Well, you read the amounts out.
$88, $90, $217.97, and $36, which were payments made by residents by accident into the Newtown Township Municipal Authority account that were actually supposed to go to Newtown Township. So the motion is to refund that money. Refund that money to the respective residents as outlined in 11.9, 11.10, 11.11, and 11.12. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Okay, 11.13, 11.13, I make a motion to consider approving $129.41 refund to Sandra Turtle of 300 Charles Drive for a duplicate sewer payment. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
11.14, make a motion, we consider approving $2,061.60 refund to Gabriella Robertson of 48 Belmont Road for a duplicate sewer payment. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
11.15, consider approving $1,627.25 refund to George Horlock of 48 B Belmont Road for a duplicate sewer payment. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
just wondering what's going on with these duplicate payments. There's three of them here, just,
It could be one of two things. One is the title company would pay it and the resident would also pay it. Another one is possibly the husband paid it and the wife didn't know, things along those lines, but they're true duplicate payments.
thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 11.16, make a motion to approve $8,725 reimbursement to Brenda and Alan Clegg at 102 Springhouse Lane for sewer connection costs associated with the public sewer project. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
And 11.17, make a motion, we approve $7,812 reimbursement to Rebecca Kovac at 104 Springhouse Lane for sewer connection costs associated with the public sewer project. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Okay, the resident that came in late, we can go back to public comment.
Yes.
Come up to the front, state your name and your address, please.
Hi, Richard Capaferri, 401 Hempstead Circle, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. I was also at the meeting at Mike Brody's house when Mr. Sheridan had spoken to us and told us that we didn't have to pay the tap-in fee for the Dever line because the Devers paid it and they had been given access to a water line from, I believe it's a softball field, Mike?
Yes.
So I kind of find it like bizarre that Mr. Sheridan, you don't recall this meeting that we had and the outcome of it?
I don't recall you there. I remember going to Mike's house. I went there with the engineer, who back then was Kelly and Close,
Right?
and we talked about the project.
Mhm.
I don't recall going with Linda Holden and then manager
Jim Sheldrake,
Jim Sheldrake.
Right.
No, I don't.
and my other neighbors were also there.
But, well, that's okay. I stand by what I recall. But at the end of the day, you're saying, so, as I understand it, something different than Michael's saying, and that is,
No, not at all. We're in a total agreement.
can I finish?
Sure.
Thank you. That you're saying not having to pay for the Beaver line, which is the arrangement that Renahan made. But there's still the Orsado line that's a component that needs to be reimbursed.
Why were we involved in the Orsado line when it doesn't run down our street?
Because that's where the flow that came down the Beaver line flows into. That then takes it on at that point to the treatment plant. Now it goes.
So how many people have actually paid for that line?
That's what we're going to get for Michael.
So the other thing is the Beaver line flows right into,
Just one second. If you're going to speak, I need you to come up to the mic, please. And if that's right.
Okay, Mike, you want to come up and speak?
No, you can finish all time with you.
So that was the agreement that we came upon that night, and why you're changing it, not changing your mind, that you don't remember that arrangement.
But are you saying you feel that I agreed that you would get, not you'd get to connect to the public sewer system for free?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I would never do that.
Well, why
Well,
would,
it's paid for, Mike. Oh, come
yeah,
on.
Mike, why would we be,
I'm
why
not
would
gonna
we,
debate it with you.
why would?
Gentlemen, we're not, this is public comment. We're not gonna debate this. I already made it clear. We do not have the appropriate documentation to
late, so-
discuss this today.
He was late, wasn't here for.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so
let's-
I'm going to reiterate my comment again.
Okay.
We, unfortunately, even though I said at the last meeting that we would make our best efforts by both our counsel and our engineer to have the documentation available so we can review it and comment. We spent the last 30 days preparing for litigation,
Understood.
which we had today.
So
So let me finish.
Okay.
So we're not prepared to go back and forth and to discuss or debate or anything with you as to what is or what isn't, what is accurate, what is not accurate. We understand where you're coming from. We also have to respect counsel, and we have to respect our engineer that have to look at the data.
My apologies to the board. I had
So-
pneumonia last time. when
Okay,
came
I
up here
understand.
and I couldn't.
I understand. So I'm saying is, we understand where you're coming from. You have to give us the opportunity to look at the data. None of this board was there when this took place.
Understood.
So the people, 2 of the 3 people are no longer here.
Right.
So I don't know what deal was made, what deal wasn't made. We're relying on council. Council's going to give us advice and guidance. Council's going to provide whatever documentation council has. Our engineer is going to provide on-site field review to determine what pipes go where, what pipes connected into what, and where the lines run. And from that, and that documentation, we can draw a conclusion as to what is and what isn't. And once we do that, then we'll present it, and then you'll have an opportunity to say, you're right, or you're wrong, or maybe we're somewhere in the middle,
Nothing more.
okay?
So here I will bring something up. Mike just is making a comment to Rich that we're supposed to get free sewer. So you made the same comment to some of the neighbors behind me that you made an agreement with. Mike, we're not looking for free sewer. All we're looking for is you agree. Have you ever been on another resident's house in the township, and as long as you've been?
Don't ask that question.
Don't
You're
ask
gonna
it?
be- You're gonna be shocked at the answer.
I'm just wondering, how many, have
At
you?
least 70 residents, at least 70 residents.
And has
He
that,
has gone to and spoken to
okay,
in person.
with the township manager and the board of supervisors, any of those 3 people combined been there?
I have no idea. Well, the
Right, well,
supervisors, I can't answer that question.
Well, exactly. Well, that's what
Wait
I'm
a
saying.
minute, the
That
question
happened.
was-
But it's not right. We're not supervisors.
Right, I understand that.
Yes.
The other thing is, there has been agreements within this township for sewer where people either got reimbursed money for running sewer lines on their property
Yeah,
and didn't
we-
pay for anything. So he's saying, so somebody, Mike, you just.
No, we got some, no. We
Have
got
people-
something in return.
Right, in return.
Right.
And
So
so
if
we-
we got,
right.
I'm not debating this anymore.
Okay.
If we got an easement, we had to compensate for the easement.
And the easement was with the water line.
How we did it, whether we paid, we gave a tap-in fee, but that's not relevant to this conversation.
Okay.
We're gonna focus on what you gentlemen have asked at the last meeting. We'll do our best to get the data together. We'll have it at the January meeting if we can, and we'll go from there.
Sounds great.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
I
Thank
just
you.
find it interesting that after all these payments that have been made to the township by private, by Renahan, by private residents, that nobody has any idea what the Orsados have been reimbursed or the Terrells. After all, I mean, if it wasn't for me, you guys wouldn't even be looking at this.
Well,
That's the
I,
fact. To get the township and the sewer line and get ready to sell it to Aqua, you don't know what's going on. And eventually I found out through word of mouth that Aqua is actually gonna change our sewer lines to get rid of the gravity, or they wanna put gravity fan after Aqua buys the system from the township.
okay, that's,
So-
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Number 12, engineers report.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Porter? You're welcome. You're on deck.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try to be as brief as I can. I know there's quite a few items on my list, but most of them are just brief updates. The first item is a sewer project update. With regard to the Ashford service area, recall we had resident from 4019 Fox Hill Lane. The Lairdisons, where the authority authorized the Lairdisons to enter into a contract privately with a landscaper to execute landscaping on their property. We have been in receipt of a partial invoice for that from Earth Care Inc., who they retained to install plantings to offset what was done as far as the sewer project through their property. The payment was a partial payment of $5,545.00. I have not been able to visit the property yet to identify everything that's been installed yet. It's up to the authority as to whether or not you want to release payment based upon my investigation or confirmation as far as what's been installed on the property, or do you want to wait until the next meeting? Recall that the authority did authorize up to a certain dollar amount, and this is well within that certain dollar amount for the overall cost.
Question number one, have you forwarded to the resident the documentation for release provision?
No.
Okay, we're not gonna release any money until the document is forwarded and it's executed,
Okay.
okay? So. Go ahead.
Okay. Number 2 on the Ashford service area was 321 Crum Creek Lane. Recall that that property owner had retained Mid-Atlantic Mechanical to install their sanitary sewer lateral. There was a conflict with our sanitary sewer gravity main in Crum Creek Lane, where the sewer contractor raised their lateral stub, their connection point, to avoid conflict with the water main, and thereby raising the lateral, precluding them from the ability to connect by gravity to that sewer lateral. They also, Mr. Abel, who's the property owner, attended the authority meeting and explained that he would go back to Mid-Atlantic to have them explore completing the project to the rear yard, in which there is a sanitary sewer easement and sanitary sewer installed. The authority voted to allow a cost up to $9,500 above what Mid-Atlantic's original cost for the sewer lateral construction was to be, which was $6,500. I have an invoice from Mr. Abel for completion of his sanitary sewer lateral and restoration of his driveway. So the lateral completion was $15,475. The paving of the patch on the driveway where they crossed was $400, for a total of $15,875. Deducting out what the initial cost of Mid-Atlantic was and $6,500 leaves a balance of $9,375, which is within the $9,500 that the authority agreed to compensate Mr. Abel.
We have release provisions?
I don't recall. I don't believe the authority asked for release provisions for that particular property. And Mike can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Which property is
That's
this?
321 Crum Creek Lane. It's a private property along Crum Creek Lane.
It's where the
that was
line's
doing
missed.
A lateral,
Missed.
yeah, lateral install.
Right, he came in.
Correct.
And the pond's down there.
Not on his property.
Not on
His,
his property.
yeah, his property backs up to Lewis Run, where we have a sanitary sewer easement through the rear yard.
We still should do it because.
Okay.
It's like a settlement of a claim.
Sure. Certainly.
So let's get a release put together, get that out, get it signed, and then let them know that once the release is executed. Have you inspected this to make sure it's done?
Yes, that has been completed.
Okay, so once we get the release signed, we'll then authorize the check to be cut and reimbursed.
Okay.
Are we reimbursing the homeowner? Are we reimbursing the contractor?
He has paid the contractor. We're reimbursing the
Do we have
homeowner.
documentation that he's been paid in full?
That the contractor,
Contract's been paid in full?
I do not have documentation. I just.
So we'll get that in our release provision, the evidence that, well, he'll release us from all liability, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on with the sewer project update on the Camelot service area. the sewer contractor, Jalen Bradley, had their paving subcontractor complete paving items on Camelot Lane, with the exception of providing seal coat at the paving joints where they did some restoration. So that item needs to be completed. And they also completed final paving of Park Avenue, which, as you recall, the Faga property had done some specialized paving to divert stormwater. So our office went out, staked out, gave them grades for where to kind of move the paving around to direct stormwater, and that was completed last week.
They've also put in beer, right?
Yes, so they restored, they did the patch on Guinevere and still need to seal around that patch.
Neither are sealed.
And that concludes the update on the sewer project.
Anybody have any questions on the sewer project? Okay.
No.
Hempstead Circle Low Pressure Sewer System updates that we just discussed here?
Yes.
Okay, you know what you have to do. Don't move on.
Yeah, I actually already visited the site and have been started, I started putting
Okay.
together documentation. Ellis Preserve Sector 1, Phase 2 residential, the shops at Ellis Preserve, the agreement has been completed and executed. And I believe that is now finally behind us. I will reach out to the DP once I get a final copy of that and communicate to them that the agreement has been completed. Ellis Preserve Sector 1, Phase 2 commercial, which is Phase 2D of the shops at Ellis Preserve. I have begun reviewing the planning module document, and I do have some coordination with the DEP with regard to allocation of our residual flow that the authority has. There was some discrepancy between what was tabulated through 537 planning and what the DEP has tabulated in their records. Why that wasn't corrected during 537 planning, or the issue wasn't raised then, I don't know, but so we'll be sorting that out and completing review of the planning module over the next month here. Stony Knoll, the 27 lot subdivision along Wayland Road, is going before the Board of Supervisors on December 13th. I will be present at that meeting. Just an FYI to the authority that, as I mentioned previously, the developer needs an easement from the adjacent property owner, formerly Mr. Limekuller's property, who gave the authority an easement to extend the Newtown Hunt force main between Hunt Valley Circle and Echo Valley Lane. There's a gap between the authority's easement and the property boundary behind them, which backs up to Mr. Nolan's tract, who's developing the property. So I have not heard anything since the prior planning commission meeting where the issue was raised. So that's going to have to be sorted out with the municipal authority, and I'm presuming the Board of Supervisors would make that as some sort of a condition to their approval if they do approve the plan. Melmark pump station update. We observed startup testing at Melmark on November 8th and November 22nd for their 2 pump stations to service their school campus. Both passed testing and are now currently pumping into the Newtown Hunt pump station. Dunwoody Village.
Before you go any further, do you have them all hooked up and into your system as a client now? As a customer?
We will, once we get the final from
Okay.
Dave's office, we put them on, yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Dave.
Dunwoody Village update. I have received the revised calculations back from their engineer and have begun reviewing that. I have probably 25% of the letter to verify completed, that they've addressed our concerns. Similarly, with the Marple Newtown High School, I have had a conference call with their engineer and discussed my concerns with regard to their plans and calculations. They resubmitted revised plans and calculations during the week of Thanksgiving, and I'm anticipating on verifying that they've addressed our comments over the next week. And that concludes the engineer's report.
Any questions of the engineer? Okay, thank you. Operations Managers Report.
believe in that. It's a switch table, so I'm by the mic. If the Municipal Authority Board recalls, I believe it was about 2 months ago, we were before you, and maybe just a month ago, we requested that you approve a letter working with the guarantee that the township would guarantee the municipal authority bonds. And it was kind of coming from Moody's in their evaluation. I will tell you that township opted not to actually follow through on that with some guidance from the bond counsel that came after we had met with you. But I just wanted to give you an update because Moody's did review our credit rating for the township, and in doing so, continued to keep the bonds that you had issued at a AA1. So there's no issue there, that you're still a AA1. And after being told that it would never happen, they actually gave the township a AAA bond rating. So I just wanted to let you know that we did not take action on that and ended up being a non-issue. And so that's where we are.
Okay.
But your bonds are still looked at as a AA1.
Okay. New business. We have here discussion possible adoption of 22 budget. I do not think we've had enough time to review the budget. I would ask the board members to take a look at it over the next 30 days to circulate comments. And we then can get those comments to the staff, and then staff can put together a proposed budget for 2022 at our January meeting, and then we can open it for discussions, and if we're ready, we can adopt it. If not, we can continue to work on the budget. We do have a little bit of breathing time in that we bill quarterly, so we get to buy essentially 60 days into the new year to work out any of the issues that may arise from that. Okay? Any other new business? No? Old business? No old business? Items for the next agenda? Again, I would ask that the staff try and get a little note out to the members of the board, at least maybe 2 weeks before the next meeting, so that if there is a board member that has an item on the agenda, they can add it. There's a little bit of time so we can get posted and we stay within the sunshine laws. That would, keep us in compliance and make sure that our agendas are being done in an appropriate manner. Sure. Okay. All right. I'm going to break the rules because it's not on the agenda. I would like to take this time to acknowledge and thank our solicitor, Mr. Sheridan. He has informed me, and I think he's spoken to some of the board members, that he will be stepping down as our primary solicitor after 17 years. And we've discussed a role as special counsel with regard to the balance of the 537 plan and retaining him as a special counsel for that purpose. So we'll certainly discuss that in the January meeting and make that determination. But I did want to publicly acknowledge his commitment to this organization, commitment to the authority, specifically his personal commitment to seeing the 537 plan completed and bringing it to a near completion over these 17 years. We're very close. We have one open issue left. We're working on it. But Mike is going to spend some time, hopefully with his grandchild, and a little enjoying of life, maybe a little extra golf. But I just wanted to, be on the record to acknowledge your commitment to all of us, to the community, and to me.
You're very welcome.
We've been together 13 years, so it's been a ride. It's been a ride, but we've accomplished a lot. So I just want to say thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure.
Any
Thanks.
any other comments from any other board members?
I
No?
just agree with, yeah, your point of thanks for sure.
Okay,
It's been a pleasure, Mike.
Mike's been around many, many years. We've talked many times about many different items, not just the board, and I'm sure we still will. I'll be here. More fun to be around, but thank you tremendously for what you've done. Well, Mark, thank you. You're welcome.
okay. With that, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Done.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.